Join me at the AJS Matchless Owners Club headquarters for the first episode of Project Bert.
So what we've got is a complete frame, which is good, a complete AMC gearbox, we have a rear hub, we have some mud guards but they're unfortunately the wrong ones, we've got a set of cases, an oil tank, some barrels, some cylinder heads minus all the valves and valve gear and springs and all of that kind of stuff. We have the correct
might be in there, to be fair.
We have the correct petrol tank. Oh, we have great. We've got the proper alloy dynamo engine cases. Oh, we have an oil tank side panel, which is also great news. There's various little brackets, some chains and bits and pieces. I've seen some fork legs as well. What looks like there's a whole pile of clutch bits. There's some engine plate bracketry. There's some fork yokes. There's 80% of what we need here. It's a little bit disappointing that the headlamp is missing in the toolbox.
I'll have another look in my garage, but I don't think...
And also, unfortunately, it's the wrong speedo.
I haven't got any more of the speedos.
Yeah.
And that was with this.
Yes.
So, Charles, tell us the story of how we got this into the club.
Webmaster had an email from a chap down in Harlow, well actually, yes, in Harlow, saying this stuff is available free to the club, someone's got to pick it up as soon as possible. I don't live that far from Harlow, so I went down there, shot down there and picked it up. It had to be all gone by Friday because the house was sold, his father had died. So I rushed down there, picked it all up, and this is it.
Brilliant. And I think this took you quite a long time to find all the bits, was that right?
The building was... It was in the garden shed, right at the bottom of the garden, very large shed that was absolutely jam-packed full of junk, spiders, cobwebs. So I had to fight my way through, and this stuff was just spread out everywhere.
Right.
So I just picked up what I could and what looked the right stuff.
Steve, what's the intention with this? What are we actually going to do with this?
Okay, so what we're going to do,
what's our plan?
So we're going to sort this out, and we're going to lay it out and look at what we've got, make a list of what there is, and then make a list of what we need. Most of the parts that we will use to rebuild the bike, because the plan is to turn this into a fabulous machine,
Yeah.
and raffle it next year.
Brilliant.
So
2026
it'll
raffle
be
bike.
fully restored using 99% of the club's parts.
Right.
So the plan is, as I say, to go through this, make a list of what we've got. Stuff will go out for powder coating, stuff will go for paint. We will bring our members' expertise into the fold for engine rebuilds, gearbox rebuilds, and new wheel rims. So nothing's going to be spared with this. So it's going to be like a phoenix rising out of the pile of spares.
Amazing.
And we have the original logbook,
Right.
and the latest type of logbook that ties it in with all these parts.
So we've got an advantage there, is that we don't need to use the dating service for DVLA purposes of an age-related number or to retain the original number, but we can use the club services to actually give us a extraction from the records to show when this was built and to also confirm that the frame and engine numbers and gearbox numbers are correct or not.
To the factory as well.
Brilliant.
Because
So
as we all know, they never came with matching numbers. It's matching to the factory record.
records, yes.
And I think we ought to call it Bert.
So just talking about Bert then, so what actual model have we got here? What is this
We've got
bike?
the 1959 Matchless G12 650. So that's what it is. And that's what it will be when we brought it back to life.
And from laying out the parts that we have, what bits do you think that we are missing potentially?
Okay, we're missing a toolbox and a toolbox lid. We're missing a battery carrier tray. we're missing a headlamp. We're missing some headlamp shrouds. We have one, but it's damaged. We're missing a fork leg. So we've got some parts sourcing to do that isn't brand new. They're parts that we can only put on second hand and that are only available second hand. However, I'm pretty convinced that the membership will have all of those parts in their sheds.
Yeah. So what's the first job then, Steve?
So the first job is to sort out the parts from this pile that we need powder coating. The plan is
presumably this frame.
to take the frame, the swinging arm, the yokes, any bracketry I can find, and take it and have it powder coated. You know, the engine plates. We're missing a footrest as well, but oh no, I can see it. There's two footrests. I can see the other one. So taking those parts and having them powder coated. Powder coats is pretty quick. You could have them done potentially within 2 weeks. So what we'd then have is we'd have a clean chassis to start to build on. What we can do in parallel with that is to look at the hubs, get the hubs blasted, and the club now stocks new chrome rims and spokes. We didn't do them before, they're a brand new product, and the plan is to get the wheels rebuilt by one of the club members who I know who does wheels, and have some lovely wheels put in. The forks need to be sourced, replaced, but again that's a pretty simple job since we stock everything. We'll have to replace the swing arm bushes and pin, again something that we have in stock, and we need to source some shock absorbers for it because they're missing as well. We can either go down the posh route and go for Hagons, or we can look to put some pattern ones on.
And the petrol tank looking solid, as far as you can tell?
Really, really solid.
Yeah.
Again, once we have the toolbox and the toolbox cover, we can then look at getting them painted. I personally have got a set of mudguards that will fit this bike that I'm willing to let the club have. They do need some work, so I need to go and find a welder to patch them up, but I do have a set of mudguards.
Well, here we are. This is Project Bert. So this is the very beginning. This is the first episode. And we're going to update as we go along. And at the end of this series, you're going to see a nice, shiny, beautifully running machine that you could win in 2026.